Good afternoon, all. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the hybridization in the cross-pollinated crops. Okay, in the last lecture, we have discussed the different hybridization methods which are used in the self-pollinated crops. Okay, handling of F1 generation and the further segregating generation, it is different in the self-pollinated crops and the cross-pollinated crops. Okay, different methods are used to handle the F1 generation and the further segregating generations in the self-pollinated crops and the cross-pollinated crops. Okay, in the last lecture we have discussed about the methods, hybridization methods which are used in the self-pollinated crops. Okay, four principal methods which are used in the self-pollinated crops, and these are: number one, pedigree method; number two, bulk method; number three, backcross method; and number four, composite or the multiple cross method. Okay, we have discussed in detail about all these four methods in the last lecture, and in today's lecture we are going to discuss about the different hybridization methods which are used in the cross pollinated crops. Okay, in the cross pollinated crops, the inbreds the cross pollinated crops, the it involves the hybridization methods in the cross pollinated crops involves the crossing of two or more inbreds. Okay, it involves the crossing of two or more inbreds. Inbreds are combined in any one of the following types of the crosses, and these are released as the improved strain. Okay, in the hybridization methods in the cross-pollinated crop, the inbreds are combined in any one of the following types of the crosses, and the variety released as a improved strain. Okay, these different types of the crosses are: the first one is the single cross, second one is the three-way cross, third one is the double cross, fourth one is the top cross, which is also referred as the inbred variety cross, and the last one is the synthetic cross. Okay, these are the different methods by which the two inbreds are crossed with each other. Okay, number one, single cross; then number two, three-way cross; number three, double cross; number four, top cross, which is also referred as the inbred variety cross; and the last one is the synthetic cross. Okay, in today's lecture we are going to discuss these methods one by one. Okay, the inbreds are crossed using the different methods, and in this lecture we are going to discuss these methods. Okay, in this one, the first method is the single cross. Okay, the first method is the single cross. Single cross means what? The crossing of two inbreds or the varieties. Crossing of two inbreds or the varieties are called as the single cross. For example, the cross between the A, suppose that these are the different varieties. Okay, A and the B. Okay, the single cross such as A and B and C and D. Okay, single cross, it is nothing but the crossing of the two inbreds or the varieties are called as the single cross, such as A and B and C and D. Okay, in this type cross, you can see there is an involvement of only two inbreds. Okay, only two inbreds are involved in this cross. Okay, and the F1 generation seeds or the F1 seeds from this single cross, these are directly distributed to the farmers for raising the crops. Okay, the F1 seeds of these single crosses, these are directly distributed to the farmers for raising the crops. This method, it was proposed by Shell in the 1909. Okay, the method of single cross or the crossing between the two inbreds and the distributing the F1 seeds to the farmers to raising the crop, it was discovered by, it was proposed by Shell in the 1909. Okay, here the total number, suppose that there are various types of the inbreds are involved. Okay, suppose the number of inbreds are involved. Okay, for example, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, then the total number of possible different single crosses produced by a given number of inbreds, this can be calculated by the formula n in bracket n minus 1 divided by 2, where n is the number of inbreds. Okay, suppose that there are large number of the inbreds are involved, and plant breeder has to made these single crosses from the inbreds. Okay, then the possible number of the single crosses from the number of inbreds, it can be calculated by using the formula n into in bracket n minus 1 divided by the 2. Okay, for example, where n it indicates the number of inbreds, where n indicates the n number of where n indicates the number of inbreds. For example, you can see here, suppose that here the 4 inbreds are available. Okay, suppose that the 4 inbreds are available, namely the A, B, C and the D. Then the number of possible crosses between these 4 inbreds, they can be calculated by this formula. Okay, if you put here n is equal to here is 4. If we calculate by putting the number of inbreds value n, it is replaced by 4, then the answer will be 6. Okay, the answer will be 6. That means these 4 inbreds A, B, C, D, these can be crosses. The number of possible crosses between these 4 inbred are the 6. For example, A into B, A into C, A into D. Okay, A into D, then B into C, B into D. Okay, and the last one, the sixth one, is the A into D. Okay, that is, these are the number of possible crosses when the n number of inbreds are available. Okay, here don't forget that the total number of possible different single crosses produced by a given number of inbreds can be calculated by the formula n into in bracket n minus 1 divided by 2. Okay, where n indicates the number of inbreds. Suppose there are 4 inbreds are available, A, B, C, D. Then the number of possible single crosses will be 6th. Okay, I am repeating this one: A into B, A into C, A into D. Okay, then B into C, B into D. Okay, and last one is the C into D. Okay, these are the number of possible single crosses when the 4 inbreds are involved. Okay, that is all about the single crosses. Then also the planting pattern in the single crosses, it is used, it is made, the single crosses, these are made by planting the 2 rows of female plant with the 1 row of the male plant alternatively. Okay, here the 2 rows, these are planted with the female plant, and then the 1 row, it is planted with the male plant alternately, so that the 2/3 of the field produces the hybrid seeds. Okay, so that the 2/3 of the field produces the hybrid seeds. Then the advantage of using this method, it gives the maximum hybrid vigor and more uniform plants. Okay, it gives maximum hybrid vigor and more uniform plant. Okay, and therefore in America, as it is giving the more uniform plant in America, this method, it is used for the production of the sweet corn. Okay, commercially this method, it is used in America for the production of the sweet corn. Okay, here kernel size, or we can say the grain size, is very small. Okay, and the seeds are very poorly developed. Okay, kernel size, or we can say the grain size, is very small, and the seeds are poorly developed, and due to which there is a high cost of seed production for the commercial scale. Okay, that means whenever the single crosses, these are used on the commercial scale for the production of the hybrid seeds, it will be the high cost of seed production. Okay, and that's why these are commercially undesirable. Commercially, these are not used for the production of the hybrid seeds, but the single crosses are needed. These are essential primarily as the foundation crop for the double and the three-way cross. Okay, commercially these are not used for the production of the hybrid seeds, but these are the foundation crop for the double cross and the three-way cross. Okay, these are the foundation for the double cross and the three-way cross. Okay, that is the importance of the single cross. Okay, then the second method is the three-way cross. Three-way cross, here you can see the cross between the single cross as a female. Here the single cross, the two inbreds are involved, A and B. The single cross is made as it is the foundation cross for the three-way cross, and the progeny of this single cross, it is then crossed with the another inbred, and here it is C. Okay, the cross between the single cross as a female and the inbred as the male. Here the progeny of the single cross, it is used as a female parent, and the inbred, another inbred C, here in this cross it is used as a male parent. Okay, and thus in the three-way cross, three inbreds are involved. Okay, for example, here you can see the three inbreds are involved, A, B and the C. Okay, three inbreds are involved. The planting pattern in the three-way cross, it is the same as in the single cross. That is, for example, the planting is made by sowing the two rows of the female plant with one row of the male plant alternatively, so that two-thirds of the field produces the hybrid seeds. Okay, the planting pattern in the three-way cross, it is the same way as in the single cross. Okay, the advantage of the advantage of this cross is the use of the vigorous hybrid of first generation as female, in order to maximize the yield of hybrid seeds as well as to obtain the seeds of the normal grain size. Okay, we have discussed the single crosses. In the single crosses, we have discussed that the progeny which is produced by the single crosses, these are having the these are showing the hybrid vigor, but the grain size is small. But here in this vigorous progeny of the single crosses in the three-way cross, these are used as a female parent, and these are crossed with the inbred which is used as a male parent, and due to which the progeny which is produced by the three-way cross, these are more vigorous, and the hybrid which is produced by this cross, in this hybrid the seed size is normal. Okay, and that is the advantage of using the single cross as a female parent. Okay, the advantage of this cross is the use of vigorous hybrid of first generation as a female, in order to maximize the yield of hybrid seeds as well as to obtain the seeds of the normal grain size. Okay, but there is also the disadvantage of this cross is that there is a difficulty of obtaining the high pollen production from the inbred male parents. Okay, the difficulty of obtaining the high pollen production from the inbred male parent is the limitation while using the three-way cross in the cross pollinated crops. Okay, then the three-way crosses, these are believed to be the intermediate between the single and the double cross in its characteristics. Okay, three-way crosses, these are believed to be the intermediate between the single and the double crosses in its characteristics. Okay, that is all about the three-way cross. Okay, and now the third method of hybridization in the cross pollinated crop is the double cross. Okay, it is the double cross. Double cross, the we have discussed the single cross. Single cross means the crossing between the two inbreds, that is called as the single cross. That means in the single crosses only the two inbreds are involved. And here you can see the double cross. Double cross, it is the cross between the two single crosses involving four different hybrids. Okay, double cross, it is the cross between the two single crosses involving four different hybrids. Okay, and the double crosses, it was proposed by the Jones in the 1918. Okay, this type of cross, it was proposed for the first time by the Jones in the 1918. Okay, here you can see this is the cross, the cross between the two single crosses having the four different hybrids. Okay, here you can see it involves the four different hybrids, or we can say the four different inbreds. Okay, four different inbreds. Here you can see the A, then B, C, and the D. Okay, these four different inbreds are involved, and cross between these two single crosses, these are called as the double cross. Okay, then another important factor in the double cross is that the inbred in one single cross must not be used in another single cross of double cross parent. Okay, that means here you can see the A and B. This is a first single cross, and another single cross is the C and D. Okay, here the ones, here you can see the A inbred is used, and the same inbred should not be used in the another single cross. Okay, that means this cross involves four different inbreds. Okay, the inbred which is used in one single cross must not be used in the another single cross of the double cross parent. Okay, it should not be used in the another single cross of double cross parent. Then it is always advisable to cross closely related inbreds in a single cross. Okay, it is advisable to cross closely related inbreds in a single cross and distantly related inbreds in the double crosses. Okay, that means here A and B, these are closely related, and here also in this single cross the C and D, these are closely related. Okay, but here the A and B, these are distantly related from the C and the D. Okay, it is always advisable to cross closely related inbreds in a single crosses and distantly related in the double crosses. Okay, then here the planting pattern which is used in the double crosses, it is the ratio of female to male parent is to 4 is to 1. That means the 4 rows of the female parents are planted alternatively with the 1 row of the male parent. Okay, 4 rows of the female parent, and then the 1 row of the male parent is planted. Okay, so that the 80% of the field produces the hybrid seeds. Okay, so that the 80% of the field produces the hybrid seeds for the sale. Okay, planting in rows in pattern, female is to male plant ratio is 4 is to 1. That means the 4 rows of the female plant are planted, and then the 1 row of the male plant is planted, so that 80% of the field produces the seed for the sale, produces the hybrid seed for the sale. Here also, when the number of inbreds these are involved in the double crosses, then the number of possible crosses these are calculated by the formula. Here you can see the number of possible crosses, these are calculated by the formula. Here n into in bracket n minus 1 into in bracket n minus 2 then into in bracket n minus 3, and all divided by the 8. Okay, suppose that here the 4 inbreds are involved. Okay, if 4 inbreds are involved, these different 4 inbreds are a into b, b into c, sorry, these 4 different inbreds are a, b, c and the d. If here n, it is indicating, it is denoting the number of inbreds involved. If we replace this n by 4 and we calculate by using this formula, then the number of possible crosses for the 4 inbreds are 3. Okay, if 4 inbreds are available, then the number of possible crosses are 3 between these 4 inbreds. Okay, these possible crosses here you can see the a into b and c into d. Okay, then here the a into c and b into d, and the third one, it is the a into d and the b into c. Okay, the number of possible crosses, these are calculated by using the formula n into bracket n minus 1 into bracket n minus 2 into bracket n minus 3 divided by 8. Okay, for example, the 4 inbreds are involved. For example, a, b, c, d, these are the 4 inbreds. Then the number of possible crosses, these are calculated by replacing the n by 4, and then the number of possible crosses between these 4 inbreds will be 3, and these are the number of possible crosses between these 4 inbreds. Okay, the first one is the a into b, then c into d, second one is the a into c and b into d, and in the third one b into a into d and b into c. Okay, then the these are type of the crosses or the double crosses, these are mostly widely used for the commercial hybrids. Okay, these are mostly widely used for the commercial hybrids. For example, the all the hybrid seeds of the maize which are distributed to the farmers for the cultivation, these are nothing but the double crosses. Okay, all the hybrid seeds of the maize which are always distributed to the farmers for cultivation are nothing but the double crosses. Okay, then the variety which is produced by using the double crosses, these are produced with the wider adaptability. Okay, wider adaptability, that is they can get adapted to the wider or the changing climatic conditions. Variety produced by using this method are with the wider adaptability. Okay, then generally in this method the large quantity of the seeds are produced. Okay, by using this method the large quantity of the seeds are produced, and thus these seeds meet the demand of farmers at a price which farmers can afford to pay. Okay, the seeds are produced in the larger quantities and thus meet the demand of farmers at a price which farmers can afford to pay. Okay, that is all about double crosses. Okay, now the another type of the method, another type of hybridization method which is used in the cross pollinated crop is the top cross or the inbred variety cross. Okay, top cross or the inbred variety cross. Okay, in this one you can see the example. For example, a, it is inbred, and here variety you can say it is a open pollinated variety. Okay, a, it is inbred which is crossed with the open pollinated variety, it is said to be the top cross or the inbred variety cross. Okay, here it can be defined as a cross between an open pollinated variety and the inbred line. Okay, it can be defined as a cross between an open pollinated variety and the inbred line. Okay, for example, in this one you can see a is the inbred which is crossed with the open pollinated variety, and that type of cross is called as the top cross or the inbred variety cross. Okay, here in this method either the inbred A or the open pollinated variety may be used as a female parent. But to use variety open pollinated variety as a female parent is preferable. Okay, in this method, either the inbred A or the variety, it may be used as a female parent, but to use the open pollinated variety as a female parent is always preferable. Okay, then generally these are type of crosses, top cross and the inbred variety cross, these are not used commercially. Okay, these are not used commercially, and these are mostly used to check the combining ability of inbreds, and these are not used for the commercial hybrid seed production. Okay, that is all about the top cross or the inbred variety cross. Okay, top cross or the inbred variety cross, these are mostly used to check the combining ability of the inbreds, and generally these are not used for the commercial hybrid seed production. Okay, and that is all about the top cross or the inbred variety cross. Okay, then the last type of the hybridization method which is used in the cross pollinated crop is the synthetic cross. Okay, these are synthetic cross. Okay, synthetic cross means the cross among the inbreds, clones, or the lines without control of pollination to utilize the desirable characters from the different sources. Okay, the synthetic crosses, these are completely different from the other crosses. It is nothing but the combination of number of inbreds or clones or the lines to utilize desirable characters from the different sources. Okay, desirable characters from the different sources. Okay, generally it is the cross of of number generally 4 to 10 pre-tested hybrids. Okay, it is the cross between about 4 to 10 pre-tested hybrids. Okay, pre-tested hybrids. Generally the synthetic type of crosses, these are used in the forage crop where the floral structure causes the difficulty in the artificial pollination. Okay, because in all other methods there is a control on pollination. Okay, but in the synthetic crosses, there is no control on pollination. Okay, that's why there is a no need of artificial pollination, and that's why the synthetic cross, it is helpful in the forage crops where the floral structure causes the difficulties in artificial pollination. As in the synthetic cross, there is no control on pollination. Okay, here the generally this method, it eliminate the necessity to produce the seeds in the isolated plots because they are allowed to pollinate naturally. Okay, I am repeating this one. This method, it eliminate the necessity to produce seeds in isolated plots because these are allowed to pollinate naturally. Okay, there is no control on pollination, and therefore there is a the artificial pollination is not required in this method, and therefore this method, it is used for the improvement in the forage crops where the floral structure causes the difficulties in the artificial pollination. Okay, then these type of the crosses, these are less costly in the seed production and can be used for the number of generation. Okay, these crosses, the we can say there is a not a single variety, not a single variety obtained by this method which proved superior or even equal to the double crosses in the hybrid vigor. Okay, when we compare the synthetic cross with the double crosses, no, not a single variety obtained by the synthetic cross is proved superior or even equal to the double crosses. But the synthetic crosses, these are less costly in the seed production, and the variety which is produced by this method, it can be used for the number of generations. Okay, that is the advantage of synthetic crosses over the double crosses. Okay, though not a single variety produced by the synthetic cross is superior or even equal to the double crosses, but this method is less costly in seed production, and the variety which is produced, it can be used for the number of generations. Okay, then the synthetic crosses, these are better. The variety which is produced by the synthetic cross, these are better than the open pollinated variety. Okay, the variety which is produced by the synthetic cross, these are better than the open pollinated variety, as they exhibit some amount of heterosis. Heterosis means that is the variety which is produced, it shows more hybrid vigor, or we can say the variety which is produced, it is vigorous than their parent, it is said to be the hybrid vigor or the heterosis. Okay, it is superior than that of their parent, then it is said to be the heterosis or the hybrid vigor. That's why the variety which is produced by the synthetic crosses, these are better than the open pollinated variety, because these varieties exhibit some amount of heterosis or the hybrid vigor. Okay, then the synthetic crosses, these are more flexible than double crosses, as the variety produced, these are more adapted to the wider climatic condition. Okay, the synthetic crosses, these are more flexible than double crosses, because the variety which is produced by the synthetic cross method, these are more adapted to the wider climatic conditions. Okay, that is all about the synthetic cross. Okay, synthetic cross, it is nothing but the, it is the cross among the inbreds, clones, or the lines without control of pollination to utilize the desirable characters from the different sources. Okay, here you can see about 4 to 10 pre-tested inbreds are involved, or these are used as a parent in this method. Okay, about 4 to 10 pre-tested inbreds are used as a parent in the synthetic cross. Okay, that is all about the synthetic cross. Okay, in this lecture we have discussed about the hybridization method in the cross pollinated crops. Okay, thus we have completed the hybridization method in the self-pollinated crop and the hybridization method in the cross-pollinated crop. Okay, in the hybridization method means what? Hybridization method means the handling of F1 and the further segregating generation. It is different for the self-pollinated crop and the cross-pollinated crop. Different methods are used for handling F1 generation and the further segregating generations in the self-pollinated and the cross-pollinated crop. Okay, in the self-pollinated crop, four methods are used. The first one is the pedigree method, second one is the bulk method, third one is the backcross method, and the last one is the multiple or the composite cross. Okay, while in the cross pollinated crop, the inbreds are crossed by using the different methods. In this one, the single crosses, which involves the two inbreds, then second one, three-way cross, which involves the crossing of single cross and a third inbred. That means the three-way cross, it involves the three inbreds. Then the third one is the double cross, it is the cross between the two single crosses. That means it involves the four different inbreds. Then the another one is the inbred variety cross, inbred open pollinated variety cross, it is also called as the top cross. And the last one is the synthetic cross, in which about 4 to 10 pre um, uh, 4 to 10 pre-evaluated inbreds are used as the parent. Okay, that means the characters, these desirable characters from the different sources, these are combined together into the single variety, and there is no control on pollination, and that method is called as the synthetic cross. Okay, that is all about the hybridization method in the cross pollinated crops.